Hey guys, welcome to part 2 of my small kitchen organization series. Today we are finishing up my kitchen organization on a budget project, and I've got a few more fun ideas for you guys to help you organize your space creatively. In this video, we are reorganizing my cutlery drawer. I've got some really cool pantry organizers to help maximize pantry space that I know you guys are going to love, and I'm also organizing my junk drawer and a few other areas. If you missed part 1, definitely make sure you check that video out as well because it has a huge majority of my best ideas in it and you don't want to miss it. In that video, I shared my best under the kitchen sink organizing ideas, as well as the cutest little spice rack that I'm still obsessed with. But without further ado, let's start by removing everything from my cutlery drawer. And I actually purchased these two new organizers by Joseph & Joseph. They're $10 a piece and a huge space saver. My goal was to free up as much drawer space as possible to create a junk drawer because the system I was using for all of my miscellaneous items was just not working, and I did accomplish this goal.
You take my love for granted. Say a bunch of stuff you never mean, yeah. I think I need a minute to figure.
I was able to consolidate 2 drawers into one by removing the old cutlery organizer. I also took all of the more dangerous tools out of that drawer since I do have a toddler and I obviously don't want potentially harmful things in his reach. But the next thing I wanted to do was reorganize this kind of awkward cabinet. So I removed everything from it and I used Dollar Tree bins to organize some baking items as well as the dangerous tools that were previously in my cutlery drawer. I also purged a lot of things on this day, so everything that I took out of my cabinets, I really thought about whether or not I'm actually going to use them before making the decision if I'm going to keep it, donate it, or throw it away. If you are organizing on a really tight budget, I just want to say that Dollar Tree has some really amazing bins. So if you have a Dollar Tree close to you, definitely go and check them out. They have some really great like rubber on the bottom that helps to keep everything from slipping. They're just really good quality and they're only $1.
I keep on pretending I know we better end it. I said it more than once, yeah. You take my love for granted.
As you can see, I actually have a little bit of space now as I'm going through these next 2 clips. I have the bins in there. I can just pull them out when I need something in it and then slide the bins back in. It's super easy. Nothing is cluttered anymore. I have extra space in my cutlery drawer, so I could do something with that. I'm not sure what I'm going to do with it yet, but it's really nice to know that I have that. And next, we're going to work on my junk drawer. This is the cabinet from hell where I have been storing all of my miscellaneous items that came from my junk drawer at my previous house when I had a really big one and a lot of space to store everything. But this system was definitely not working, and anytime that I needed something in there, I just dreaded opening that cabinet and trying to go through it. So I decided that I really needed to heavily declutter all of this, and I only wanted to keep what would fit into the junk drawer that I was creating. And that's not a big drawer, as you will see in a minute. Everything else I was getting rid of.
Even though it's kind of toxic, babe, you know I feel it when we touch. That your love is from a different place. It's toxic, babe. Oh, it's toxic, babe. Yeah, it's toxic.
This took me quite some time. I had a huge excess of things that I hadn't touched in so long. So as I was going through everything, I was trying to be really brutal with myself about when is the last time I even used this? Have I even used this since I moved into this apartment? And do I see myself actually needing this at some point? And by having that mentality, I was able to declutter over half of the things that I had in this drawer, and it felt so good. As far as the organization bins go, I actually used the little extensions that went on the side of my old cutlery organizer, and then I just used another Dollar Tree bin to stick into the drawer and kind of divide everything up a little bit. And here I'm just putting everything in to see what fits, but I do end up going through it just a little bit more, and I checked all of the Sharpies and the pens to see if they even worked, and I try to just keep a few. So like one thin Sharpie, one thick Sharpie, one red Sharpie, instead of having like doubles and triples of everything.
Wow, wow. I could lie wide awake and leave my head up in space. Countless nights and days when you are far away, and I know that it's hard, but stay with me tonight. 'Cause when you fall apart, you know I will be around in sunlight or in the night. I'll make it worth your while. We won't hide in the crowd. Just stay with me and I'll make it worth your while. While, make it worth your while.
Here is the finished product for my junk drawer. It felt so good to do this, and now when I need something, it's so easy for me to just grab it, and I'm just really happy that I finally went through that dreaded cabinet. But here I'm just cleaning out this little drawer with my eCloths, and then I'm placing these little spice rack liners inside. I had a few spices that didn't fit into my spice rack, but I had plenty of drawer space because I was able to consolidate them so well. And these spice rack liners are actually by Utopia, I want to say. I purchased them on Amazon a long time ago, and I've used them for like a million things. They are really great for in your bathroom for organizing as well. They're really cheap, and you can cut them to any size to fit any drawer. Nothing slips or moves around. I would highly recommend them. They're definitely budget friendly as well. So I'm going to have everything that I use in this video linked in my description box below. But now that I have freed up an entire cabinet, basically, by creating my junk drawer, I was able to take some of the things that I use on a more regular basis that I had to place up really high and out of reach. I was able to put those on these two lower shelves and just make my life a little bit easier.
In sunlight or in the night, I'll make it worth your
So we finally reached probably my favorite part of this video. It is just like my spice rack organizer. I'm just like giddy over this thing. I think it's so cool, and it's also by the brand Joseph & Joseph. They're like my new favorite brand when it comes to small spaces and organizing. It's just amazing. The products that they have, that is where my cutlery organizer came from, my spice rack, and also these containers, which were only $18 for 3 containers. And if you have ever organized a pantry before, you know that these nice clear acrylic kind of containers are crazy expensive. So I feel like that was a really good deal. So right here, I'm just washing them out and getting them ready. I'm gonna just put some rice. I had panko breadcrumbs, and I also had couscous that I was planning to transfer over into these containers.
If I'm the bad one, take a look at yourself in the mirror. If I'm the worst one, ask anybody else who they prefer. If it comes down to me.
Similar to the cool little spice rack from my previous video, these containers actually utilize your vertical space that you would otherwise be wasting by hooking onto the top of a shelf. And I just think it's like the coolest thing ever. And I know that's ridiculous to be this excited over a kitchen organizing product, but seriously, it's so cool. It has this little 3M strip on the back, so you just remove that so that you can place it securely at the top of either your cabinet or your pantry or whatever. For my pantry, I use this $60 closet-made pantry cabinet. I think this thing is awesome. It does the job perfectly well for me. I'm not trying to have a perfectly organized Pinterest-worthy pantry, but I think that building up with things like this over time can definitely help me get there at some point. And seriously, look how cute those things are. I just love them. And the next thing that I did in order to label them was use actually a dry erase marker to just write in the front of them, because I'm definitely going to be switching out the things that are in these containers. So I didn't want to use my label maker and create a label and create hassle for myself. So a dry erase marker did the job perfectly, and I can just easily erase it and rewrite whatever I put in there next time, and it's not a hassle. I don't have any super fun or creative ideas for this cabinet quite yet, but it totally needs it. This is where I store all of my baking materials, so my cupcake pans and cake pans, and I even have my griddle up there for pancakes. I just can't reach this cabinet very well, so I figured I would put the things that I'm least likely to need in the time where I'm living in this apartment, or just things that I'm not going to need very often. But I took everything out of it and I just sorted through it a little bit. I wanted to declutter it and just find the things that I'm really not using and get rid of those, and then just categorize the rest really well and just try to organize it to the best of my abilities, but I didn't do anything crazy here.
Why don't we say that it's too late for us now? Why do we stay when I blame you for the things that weigh me down? 'Cause in the echo of your silence.
So I figured that I would end this video with just a quick tour of my kitchen now that it is like completely organized, at least I think completely organized enough for me to live here. This is just an apartment. This isn't my forever home, so I'm not trying to make it perfect, but I'm definitely trying to utilize the space to the best of my ability. I'm going to just show you guys everything that I've done and where everything is organized, and hopefully it gives you some ideas. I do have a part 1 to this video that was up a couple of weeks before, so if you didn't watch that one, then definitely check that one out if you need some organizing and decluttering motivation, even more than this one. And it's got some cool ideas, which you will also see in this kitchen tour, so let's do that. So starting over here, obviously this is just my fridge. Up above the fridge I have all of my baking supplies and then also my griddle for pancakes. These are huge cabinets and there's still space, so I'm pretty proud of myself for that. So I'm gonna close this. Over here, this is where I keep all my cups and things. So I also keep my Goodbye Stress vitamins. Those, I can't speak for whether or not they work because I've only taken them one time, but they do taste pretty good, so. My dishwasher's full right now, so I don't have all my dishes in here, but this is where I would keep all my glasses, and then these are like Yetis and stuff like that. And then up here is where I keep Carson's cups. I do need to get another one of the cabinet shelves for in here, like a smaller one, so I can separate off his cups. I actually hate the 360 Miracle one, so I may even just get rid of those because they just are terrible. And I know everybody loves them, but I hate them because if they hit the floor, anything that's in there just splatters and it's miserable. And then up top in all of these cabinets are things that I don't reach for regularly. So my goal in organizing was to make sure that all of the lower cabinets that I could actually reach without getting on a ladder is where all of my important things were, and then anything else that I don't need on a regular basis is up high. And then in this cabinet, this is where I keep all of my plates and bowls, mugs, and Carson's plates and everything. This normally is not up here, but I don't even know why, like how that ended up there. But anyway, up top I just have some serving plates, and I also have just some containers for storing food and stuff. But as you can see, I have extra space, so that's exciting. And this is my spice rack I used in my last kitchen organization video, and I just think this is the cutest thing in the world, and it just kind of hides all your spices and it's adorable. So down here I finally have a junk drawer. I have not had a junk drawer since moving in here because I just didn't have the space for it, but I finally made space for it. So I have all my junk crammed into here, not in the most organized fashion, but it's better to have a junk drawer than nothing at all because it was annoying not to have it. And then down here is where I keep my toaster, my waffle iron, and then that is just like a baking dish. Then under my sink, I featured this in my last kitchen organization video, and I also organized under my sink in my last video. I just keep all my cleaning towels and, you know, all the cleaning products and stuff related to the kitchen under my sink. Up here, I store a lot of things in these bins. So in here is where I just keep all my measuring cups. It's really handy right there. And then this bin up here has my mini waffle maker. I love that thing, it's amazing. And in here is just, I'll show you. This is just little glass dishes that I use a lot when I'm cooking, and a little strainer and rubber bands. So I use all these bins to store something. They're not just for decoration. And then in here, this is what I organized today. I've got dangerous tools that I don't want Carson to be able to reach right there. This is baking related things. That is an ice cream container for homemade ice cream. And then I also have Carson's baby bullet. Hopefully I get to use again someday for another baby. Up here is kind of like my apocalypse cabinet. So I have like random packaged food that I was just keeping up here in case I had nothing. So I may end up just donating all of this because now that things are starting to get better, I mean that I do eat my Special K and the Fruit Loops, but everything else I can't see myself probably using it, so I'll probably donate that. And then we have this cabinet, which I just store my cake stand. These are ice cream cups and I use these all the time. I think they're so cute. And then I just have a mixing bowl and just another random storage container and some other storage containers. I have a super old KitchenAid mixer, like a hand mixer up there. I love that thing. And I don't use it very often, so that's up there. And then that is more serveware. So I have a lot of serveware, but I used to have a big kitchen and I used to have Carson's birthday parties and things where I would actually need them, and now it's not really happening, but I don't want to get rid of them because someday I'm sure I will need them. And then we have silverware. So I got 2 of these and I think that was a good idea, so I could put the small things in this one and the big things in this one, and then Carson's things go up front. These are just like things that are safe for Carson to get into and he can't really hurt himself with. And then I've got my measuring spoons. And then down here, I organized this kind of in a recent video, but I do love these little pot holders. I think they're awesome. And then I use a command hook to hang up my oven mitt, but that thing didn't really work out. I'm still planning to buy an adjustable one to use, so I'll let you guys know how that is when I do that, but still, this is definitely better than it was before. And then finally, we have my little pantry. So up top is where I keep all the goods, like all the snacks that I don't want Carson getting into all the time. I also don't want me getting into it all the time. So if it's in that basket, I can't really see it very well and I forget what's in there, so that's a good thing. And then I always have to keep my little child-proof lock on here because Carson will try to eat every single thing that he can find. But this is my pantry and I think it's really cute and I love having this in this apartment. I desperately needed it. Trying to use my cabinets over there just really stressed me out. I like that it's all in its own separate area. It's organized to me. It's not perfect, but it's perfect for me. I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. I think next time I do a declutter and an organize, it's going to be in my bathroom, well, in Carson's bathroom, because it is kind of a disaster in the linen closet in there, so that needs to be dealt with pretty soon and organized. So you can be on the lookout for that. So don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you are new and turn your notification bells on so you don't miss any of my future videos. I really hope that you guys enjoyed this one and it gave you some good organizing and decluttering motivation and some creative ways to use a small space. I had a lot of fun doing this, and I'm looking forward to tackling another space in my apartment soon and filming it for you guys. But I hope that you're all having an awesome day, and I will see you in my next video.
Just watch me breathe.